Hello. I haven't really been feeling all that well the past few months, and it had been kind of hard to draw lately. So I thought for this video, we're just gonna do something chill, and it's also gonna be a little bit self-indulgent because I've been absolutely obsessed with Pretty Derby slash Uma Musume, and as someone who has done a lot of dressage, I thought it'd be fun if I turned some of my old schooling horses into Umas. So let's get into it. So the first horse we're doing today is Firefly. Firefly is a horse that, while he was my first schooling horse, I didn't really use him that much for training. And as you can see in the drawing here, I'm trying to figure out what exactly I wanted to do for his design. Because while in Uma Musume they used like the jockey's clothes and background to influence the horse's clothing designs, we didn't have that. Dressage didn't really have any uniforms, and even my school didn't have any kind of like colors to symbolize us. We mostly just used like hand-me-down tack from other riders. So the main influence for Fire's outfit is heavily influenced by ribbons, because Fire was the horse I used in the actual shows, and I even earned a blue ribbon on my first show I did. And I wanted to include plaid for Fire's design because, like I said, we didn't have any designated tack for each horse, except Fire did have a plaid blankie, and I thought that'd be fun. But then I kind of got sick of the design, and I thought it was like too busy, so instead I just completely scrapped it and chose a different design based off of this costume I saw. For the personality, I really wanted to give Fire's like an idol outfit, purely because Fire's absolutely loved the camera. Whenever I would take photos of him, he would like stick his face out and stick his tongue out. And as you can see for the colors here, I didn't know what to do because I didn't want him slash, the Uma, to have like orange and red, because I was using that for a different design. So because we're from the South, I decided to take influence from some cowboy boots, and I really loved how it turned out in the end. I definitely picture this version of Firefly to be kind of like an idol, maybe like an influencer, purely because I absolutely enjoyed attention. So yeah, here she is. I hope she looks good. I'm still not sure if I like how she turned out, but so this Uma is going to be based off of one of my training horses, Sundancer. This one is really special to me because Sundancer actually had passed away before I did like my last show. So while I trained really hard on him, we never actually got to do a show together. So this is kind of just like my way to kind of honor his memory, if that makes sense. It might be a little disrespectful turning him into an anime horse girl, but whatever. So getting into it, as we see here, for the design, since I'm taking heavy influence off of the name, I kind of want to have like a sun motif. And for the hair, I didn't know what to do because Sunny notoriously had really thin hair. So this girl's tail and mane might be a little scraggly, a little thin. But for the costume, I once again took heavy influence off of several different idol outfits, just because I feel like dressage Umas would probably just be pageant girls. So they would probably just have like a lot more like glitzy outfits. But yeah, I think one of my favorite aspects of this design is the hair, purely because I never noticed that Sunny had such a really cool spot on his face. And I'm color picking the skin and hair off of like all the horses. So all of the colors I did color pick off of the horses themselves, just because I thought that would make more sense. But yeah, here she is. I thought she turned out really cute. This is actually the first Uma I drew in this bunch, but I really like her, and I really miss Sunny, so enjoy. So this one might be a little bit different purely because I never trained on these horses, and I don't think anyone else in my school trained on these horses either, even though that was the reason they were purchased in the first place. But yeah, so getting into it, the two Umas I'm drawing today are based off of the horses Sanders and Gambler. I chose them purely because I thought they had very interesting personalities, and I thought maybe in like the Uma Musume universe they might be like adopted sisters. The reason being, both of these horses were very close to each other and were originally owned together by like a blind lady. So they're very protective of each other and always stuck by each other's side, and I thought that was really sweet. But yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about the outfits though. I'm probably gonna redesign them in my free time because I didn't want them to be too busy, which is hard because I knew for sure I really wanted to draw like some kind of like bubble braids for Gambler. And I really, like I said before, I think I really wanted to draw an Uma with some braided tail, because a lot of people would braid like the hair and tails of like the horses, and I don't see braided tails in Uma Musume, so I think like, you know, a big design, you know, that could be a really cool design choice. But yeah, for Gambler too, I didn't know how I was gonna represent the spots Gambler had, because being a paint, he had very beautiful markings, and I didn't want to just do the hair because I didn't think the patterns would come off very well in the braids. So I decided to give her vitiligo, and I hope it looks good. I'm trying to like make them look nice but not too busy, and that's why I think I kind of slacked off on her outfit, because she already is very unique compared to most standard like Uma Musume designs, and I didn't want her to come off as like a deviant art OC. But still, I think besides the outfit, she looks really pretty. For Sanders, once again, I took heavy emphasis off of the name and personality. And the name Sanders actually means to protect man, which is very fitting for the horse because Sanders was very protective of Gambler, like to the point where if Gambler like walks off and starts like socializing with the other horses, Sanders would butt in and separate them, even if it wasn't anything aggressive. So I thought it would be fun to convey that with kind of like a knight design. But once again, I'm not sure if I like her outfit purely because Sanders' color scheme in knight motif kind of reminds me too much of Teo. And I didn't want her to be like a Tokai Teo knockoff. But whatever. I still think they're pretty. I still think they're cool. So I hope you like it. But yeah. Well, that'll be all for today. I hope you enjoyed hearing me yap about horses. I haven't really been this inspired by a piece of media in such a long time that I think it's really neat to kind of play around with different concepts. Just because like horses have had such a huge role in, mankind, and there's so many different careers that, a horse can have, and I would love to see those different options represented in Uma Musume. So, who knows, I might be drawing more horses in the future, but we'll see. But yeah, thank you for watching, thank you for sticking around. I really appreciate it, and goodbye.